90 as we relive some of the rich tradition and history of the University of Arizona with the men and women who made the Wildcats a symbol of pride in the Pac-12 Conference. Wildcat Wednesday is presented by your Tucson PGA Tour Superstore, located at Oracle and Limberlost in Tucson. Shop with the pros. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Wednesday here on 1290 live from the studios, Wildcats Radio 1290. I am Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for joining us on this exciting Wednesday. It's hot. It's humid. The wind's starting to pick up. We'll get a little bit of rain maybe to stop this 105-degree heat or whatever it is today. But I'm so excited that you're joining us. I've got a special treat for you coming up. Jay Dobbins is going to join us, one of the all-time great Wildcats. He'll be a special guest on the program today. And I have to tell you, if you're watching on our stream, Dragon Ball is now wearing spectacles, which is completely throwing me off because you look a lot smarter than you normally do.
A little smarter than what it normally is, and I only hope that it doesn't throw you off too much. If need be, though, I will take them off and
No, you
save
look
us.
good. You look smarter. You make the show look smarter just by wearing the glasses.
I don't know about that, but I'll do my best to go ahead and at least sound smarter, since we also need to, again, we're primarily making our money with our mouths here, talking too much.
I'm just going to leave that one alone. Hope everybody's having a great day. Like I said, Jay Dobbins will join us this hour of the program. We have an update. We're down to the finals at Tucson's Top Cat. I'm excited about that. Plus, everything else that's rattling around in my big old bulbous head today is up for discussion on this here radio program. So let me get right to it, because I got a lot. I got a lot that's going on in between the ears here of this said talk shows. So let's get after it and see what's rattling around inside my brain.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 chrome magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
One of my favorite parts of the show was when Dragon Ball lip syncs the Open. All right, let's get after it. Here's what's rattling around in my big old head. Van Gundy. Not Van Gundy, Gundy, just Mike Gundy. I got Van Gundy on the mind because I've been thinking a lot about the NBA, but let me just make sure Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy's the man. You know who that is?
Oh, yeah, he's the coach over at, he's still over at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma
is he
State.
not?
I'm a man. You want to judge me? I'm a man. Come at me.
I'm 40.
I'm 40 years old. I'm a man.
One of the greatest explosions in press conference history.
Dude, I got to add that to our little repertoire of sound effects, right?
Absolutely.
That would be outstanding to throw in there. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I'm 40 years old. I'm a man. That would, you know what? He might have to find his way onto our soundboard just for us to throw out there.
That and the press conference with the coach saying,
But
"I don't
to
need
beat a man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo!
I mean, that's Ric Flair-esque.
Yeah,
What press conference you talking
the one
about?
where he's talking about, I don't need a bunch of little cats. Be a dog. Be a dog.
All right, find me those, and I'll drop them in. I'll drop them in for the show. Anyway, he's the man. Why is it? Well, Big 12 Media Day is today. Now, you know, we have all the media days scheduled. Big 12 is right now. Next week will be Southeastern Conference. ACC is going to have theirs. Big 10 will have theirs. And then I believe the Pacific 12 Conference will be the last media day. That's Friday, July 29th. So what's it coming up in 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
Yes.
We'll broadcast live from Pac-12 Media Day. We'll be there all day long. LA Live, Los Angeles, and yes, they're going to confirm. I'm going to get a chance to talk to all the coaches in the Pac-12, and we'll sit down, hopefully with Chip Kelly and Lincoln Riley, and ask them, what are you doing here? Because that's what Gundy asked. They have the business meetings for the Big 12. Texas and Oklahoma are technically part of the Big 12. They're in a transition period, waiting to go into the Southeastern Conference. But right now, they're still part of that conference. But Gundy says, why are they there? Dude, why are you here? You left us. You walked out on us. You're going over to the Southeastern Conference. Go. Why are you doing here? And then he goes, they're probably sitting there writing down all the notes and everything we're talking about in the Big 12. And then they're going to run over there and share it with everybody who's in the Southeastern Conference. Dragon Ball, talk about a weird, dysfunctional relationship. Yeah, we're going to have a meeting with all of our teams here in the Big 12, but don't say anything important because those two are sitting over there and they'll go take it and run it to somebody else. Is this a little precursor to what we'll have at the Pac-12? Hey, let's all get together. You know what? Hey, Cal, Stanford, come on, Oregon, Oregon State, come on, Washington State, come on over here. UCLA, USC. Yeah, hey, don't say anything until those guys leave. Shh, don't say anything, because you know we can't trust them. They're traitors and backstabbers. The second we say something, they're gonna go run over there and tell it to the Big Ten.
It's interesting because I would love to see somebody at the Pac-12 throw out that first little snide jab. The problem is
hello, have you met Rich Herrera?
Well, yes, but I mean among the coaches is what I figured you were kind of asking. If the coaches would do it. The problem is, the thing about the Big 12 that's so much different than the Pac-12 is that there's a semblance of there's consistency.
There's some scrappers in there.
Well, there's some scrappers, but there's consistency amongst the coaching. There's a lot of new coaches in the Pac-12. There's a lot of new faces that don't have that staying power of I've been here since the very beginning.
Who's going to take a cheap shot, I guess is the best way to put it.
I mean,
it's not going to be Jed.
Jed won't do it. Herm won't do it.
Herm's hanging on to his job, so he can't do it. Chip and Lincoln are the ones who are going to be very uncomfortable. David Shaw, he can't do it. Justin Wilcox, maybe. New coach in Washington, new coach in Oregon. Oregon State doesn't win enough to pop off.
Right.
And neither does Wazoo. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think you have anybody with enough standing.
And that's what I mean is that with Gundy, he's been at OK State for a very long time. He has that. He's as iconic to Oklahoma State football as that big-headed cowboy.
Oh, the paper-mache cowboy?
Yeah, the paper-mache cowboy. I don't know if there's anybody outside of the Stanford coach in Shaw that really has enough clout to their presence on the campus to do something like that.
I was just thinking of this. My next bracket I want to do when we get done with the Top Cat?
Right.
I want to do a bracket as we go into the season of cage style, maybe shoot fighting. Is that what you call it? Shoot fighting?
Shoot fighting, yeah.
Shoot fighting is no rules, right?
As little to no rules as you could possibly
have. It's like
have.
Death match.
Pretty much. I mean, you could go GCW death match. You go putting out the light tubes and things like that.
Yes. of the Pac-12 mascots.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Although I'll tell you what, I would like to think that Wilbur gets far in that tournament, but I think that Oregon Duck, he did a lot of push-ups back in the mid-2000s. He's probably got some beef underneath that.
Let's do the seeds. Who'd be the number one seed if you had a death match between all the Pac-12 mascots?
I mean, it's weird because you got two bears in there, but one of them's a baby bear.
Well, have you seen Oski?
No.
Oski's not a fierce bear. He's kind of a sophomore college bear wearing a sweater. And the baby bear, the baby Bruin, he's cuddly and cute. So I don't know if those bears necessarily get up there to be the top top seed.
I'll tell you who's the bottom seed is the tree.
The tree's got to be the bottom seed. What's he going to do? Fall on somebody?
Yeah. Then again, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, it doesn't make a noise.
I was going to say something, but I'll just leave that alone. So the Sun Devil would actually probably be a top seed.
You could probably look at him being at least top 4
because he's got that fork that he can stab you with.
He's really the only mascot I can think of that actively has a weapon besides the Trojan, because the Trojan has the sword.
Because we've declared we took the guns away from Wilbur.
Yes.
Wilbur used to have a 6-shooter. Then he obviously would have won.
Hey, he still got claws, man.
He's
Wilbur
got claws.
Scratch.
He could fight like a wildcat. But the duck, no. The beaver, no.
Beavers can bite, though. Beaver's got a mean bite. And then again, you got to look at the husky. I mean, the husky.
No, I'm trying not to say what I want to say.
Yeah, no, but the husky's got a good bite to him too because he's basically part
No,
wolf.
you're going about the beaver, and I'm just like, I can't say what I really.
Well, yeah, no, but we just looking at
Fat,
all the
drunk, and
mascots.
stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I just got to leave it alone. I got to leave it alone. You threw a pitch right belt high, and there's nothing I can do. So the beaver, the husky will be kind of tough, but they're not known as ferocious animals.
No.
You keep going.
Cougars.
The cougar would give everybody a pretty tough run for their money.
Yes.
So the cougar would be tough. The baby bear, not so much. Now the Trojan has a sword.
Yep.
But they're named after a losing city-state. We've gone through that before, right?
Yes, we have. We've gone over that.
So I think my top seeds would be the Cats, the Cougars, and the Wildcats.
Cats, the Cougars.
The Trojans and the Sun Devils would be probably my top 4 seeds. And like you said, Stanford would be the worst.
Yep.
All right, that might be our next tournament. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I'm 40 years old. I'm a man. By the way, also at the Big 12 Media Days, they have their new commissioner, Brett Yormark. And did he come out swinging today, folks? He came out swinging and said, hey, we are open for business and we're open for doing anything. That's a shot across the bow with the Pac-12 schools.
If you've got a price, we will listen.
Yeah. So right now, the Pac-12 schools are in a holding pattern. Mm-hmm. And now the big thing is, will ESPN lowball the Pac-12? If ESPN wants to blow up this conference, they lowball less than $30 million per school per year for the rights, and then I think the thing breaks up. If they give them a legitimate offer that they can work with, the Pac-10 stands pat. But we'll see. Complete holding pattern for that. What else is rattling around in my big old head? I'm bummed out today, dude.
Oh, no. What happened?
I'm bummed out. A friend of mine lost his job. Tucson's Charlie Montoya. Charlie Montoya
right.
lives here during the offseason. Let go today by the Toronto Blue Jays. You know what? I'm torn because I've got 2 friends that are managing in the American League East. One is Aaron Boone. One is Charlie Montoya. Aaron's having an amazing year after almost getting fired last year in New York, and they're trouncing the rest of the American League East. That's why they're up, they up by 12 games or something like that? The Yankees?
The Yankees are up 14 games on Tampa Bay.
And on Boston and Toronto. Yeah, Toronto's not having an awful year. They're just running into the buzzsaw of the New York Yankees.
And that's just it. Tampa Bay is plus a game and a half. Boston's a game up. And then Seattle and Toronto are both sitting neck and neck in the AL wildcard race.
But the reason why the Blue Jays are supposed to challenge, but it's hard to challenge when the Yankees just keep rolling over everybody. So I'm not sure how fair that is. But again, it just comes with the job. Let's see. Oh, I'm also bummed out at this. If I was a player, I was a baller, I was a real player, who would you want to be? If you could just be off field, not on field, off field. Name me an athlete with just style and panache that you'd love to be. And if you say a hockey player with a mullet, I'm going to come in there and smack you inside the head.
No, off the field or on the field?
Off the field, with just style and panache. I used the word panache on the radio, which I don't know if I've ever used that before.
I don't know.
Derek Jeter.
I was going to say, Jeter's up there in conversations.
He dresses like a king. He's got style. He's got class. People respect him.
I mean, you can argue he's the king of the Bronx.
He might be the king everywhere.
Yeah.
There's even the urban myths about him are strong.
Oh, yeah.
You know the urban myth I'm talking about, right?
Oh, there's a couple of them.
Which one do you know about? The gift basket?
The gift basket's one of them.
So
yeah, there's
it's not a 30 on 30, but it's like that coming up on the captain.
Yes,
and it's kind of like the Michael Jordan one they did.
It's one of those like 30 for 30 shorts, but I think it's a
no,
mini
it's gonna be like a 6 series.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like The Last Dance,
right?
So this one they did on the captain, on Derek Jeter, and they're kind of litting it out in dribs and drabs because they're hoping we're all gonna watch it like we did The Last Dance. We're not. Because when The Last Dance came out, I was stuck in my house and wasn't allowed to go anywhere because of stupid COVID.
Yeah.
I'll watch the captain, but it's not going to captivate us like The Last Dance did, I don't think.
It's difficult to say because, again, baseball's already a sport that has a difficult amount of time of really capturing
Don't you say bad things about baseball.
No. It has a difficulty capturing the casual audience as it is, but Jeter's got that kind of staying power. He might be able to make a draw out of it.
Anyway, that is that stare. I'm giving you that glare.
I know.
One of the little things that they're leaking out, so that gets us to talk about it, that Derek's going to shoot down the whole idea of the gift basket. So for those of you who don't know the gift basket, see, Jeet would go anywhere he wanted. See, if you're on the Dragon Ball, you call him Jeet. Jeet.
There's a
short for Jeter.
Jeet.
Jeet was the man.
Better than the Red Sox fans that would call him Bo Derek.
He was pretty. Jeet would date supermodels.
Yeah.
And beautiful women would love to spend time with Derek Jeter. Same with Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez would date beautiful women.
The man dated Madonna.
You just don't understand. It's 2022, and I can't say what I really would want to say. Stop throwing softballs down the middle at me.
You can be a real jerk sometimes.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, you do know what you're doing. You're trying to get me in trouble. Anyway, Alex Rodriguez would date beautiful women, but he'd show up, here's the way they would describe it to me in New York. He'd show up at a restaurant that had like a 2-hour waiting list. He'd show up without a reservation and then stand there and make a big deal. Paparazzi would be there, and then he'd demand a table, disrupt everything. It just caused chaos.
Right.
I don't know how well he tipped, but he didn't tip enough for the waiters and waitresses and the people to not call the paparazzi, hey, Rod's here with some supermodel. And then the paparazzi would show up and it just turned into a circus.
Yep.
Derek Jeter would call ahead, walk in through the back door of the kitchen, say hi to everybody, tip everybody, like he's in Goodfellas. Like you see Goodfellas, right?
Yeah.
Where Ray Liotta walks by and he's just slipping money in everybody's pocket, tipping the whole world. That's what Jeter would do. He'd get a small table in the back away from everybody. He'd tip. He'd be polite. He'd be gracious. When he got done, he'd tip everybody again, sneak out the back door. Nobody would see him. That was the difference between the two of them in New York. But one of the urban myths was that Jeet, if he had an admirer and they spent time together, when that admirer left, they would get a gift basket with an autographed baseball and some Yankee gear and some chocolates and whatever else was in this gift basket. It would be like when your wife goes to Bed Bath & Beyond and comes back out with that cellophane enclosed gift basket that they have.
It looks like an Easter basket.
It looks like an Easter basket, and then they would get one. And then the urban myth was that he just had a ton of them in the closet, and whenever he had a new friend, they would get a gift basket as a parting gift. Did I say it politely?
That's as politely as you can put it. About also as PC as you can possibly get.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to be that smooth if I was single. I'd love to be that smooth. Hey.
See, the issue is, though, in order to be that smooth, you have to have that kind of money.
Yeah, because I'd be that kind of baller.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'd be that kind of baller, but
I'd like to think everyone would imagine themselves to be that kind of baller.
What would you give your admirer in a gift basket.
I would give them a shocked stare because I'd be like, really? Really? Me? Of all people?
Me? So, in this docu series, Jeter shoots it down and goes, dude, that never happened. Darn it! I was hoping I give a little microphone. Six-pack of Diet Coke.
Oh, man.
Coupon for a pizza. Now, I have to go classy. I give him a coupon to go to Golden Corral.
There you go.
But Jeter says that never happened. Darn, another urban myth just going down the drain. Thanks a lot, Jeter, for ruining that for mankind everywhere going, yeah.
Don't worry. We still got all those myths about Bo Jackson that I am determined to believe are real.
Like what?
Like how he could, shoot a bow and arrow with his feet. He was that strong. Yeah, no, that's exactly my point.
But it's not as cool as the Derek Jeter giving admirers a going-away gift basket.
Your thoughts, my thoughts.
Oh, by the way, do I have time for one more?
Yeah, we got time.
Baker Mayfield, who's going to be one of my new favorite quarterbacks. I'm going to get that number 6 jersey of his. You want to know why he's wearing number 6?
Wait, I thought, how can he get number 6?
He bought it from Johnny Hecker.
Oh, come on.
He says it reminds him of, he had number 1. He could have got 1, but that was Cam Newton's number.
That's Cam's number.
So he got number 6 was the number, I think, when he was a walk-on.
Well, yeah, it's the number he's had since Oklahoma.
Yeah. So he bought number 6 for Johnny Hecker. Why can't somebody come buy my number?
Do you have a number?
No, but it would be cool if they did. What would you say? How much would you ask for your number?
If someone had a number
if
that I
you
really
were Johnny
wanted,
Hecker and you had number 6, he tweeted out a picture of him being a king.
If I'm the punter in this particular scenario,
you better give it to him if you want to keep your job.
I will go ahead and say, hey, here's the thing. Pay me half of what my year's salary is, and then I'll give it to you. And as a punter, that's not asking a lot.
I was going to say, buy me a Rolex.
No.
You want him to give you
I got a phone.
$100,000?
That's not half the yearly salary.
What's a half yearly salary of a punter?
Hold on. Give me a second.
All right, go to Football Reference and see what Johnny Hecker makes a year. All right, you know what? Do that and we'll come back, all right? That's called a tease, folks. We'll see how much Johnny Hecker makes. I would just say a presidential Rolex, $20,000, I'd be happy.
Okay, so
Johnny Hecker
averages about $3 million
for a punter.
For a punter,
and you want him to give you $1.5 million for his number?
He's a first-round draft pick quarterback.
Well,
He's
you're
going to
a
be
jerk.
paid. He's going to be getting paid.
You know what?
That's the high end.
I've lost so much respect for you. You're greedy.
That's the high end.
I'd say, take me to Morton's and buy me a Rolex.
I don't know, because again,
you'd ask for $1.5 million.
Yes.
Wow.
If I'm a punter, I'm not getting a lot of respect as it is anyway.
You make $3 million a year. That's enough.
I'll ask you this right now: Are punters football players?
Sure.
No.
What do you mean no? Do they have a helmet? Do they wear shoulder pads?
No, come on. You're probably in that same group of people that punter and kickers are not players. They are punters and kickers.
You know what? You know why I say they're players? Because they can do something that I can't do.
Fair enough.
Right? In fact, I'd have a better shot at being an offensive lineman being as fat as I am than being a kicker.
You know what? This is fair.
All right.
This is fair.
Coming up on the program, we'll tell you what's going on with Tucson's Top Cat and our sweet deal of the week. All that coming up. I'm Rich Herrera. That's Dragon Ball. Jay Dobbins joins us in just a bit here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set.
And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Really on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on. I'm going to call it audible. We're going to talk to Jay Dobbins in just a second. Are we good? Do I got Booney on with us? All right, we're getting Brett Boone on here in just a second because Dragon Ball and I just had an erroneous conversation. Completely erroneous conversation. So, Brett, I was talking to Brett during the break, and I said, all right, how much am I going to have to pay to get a number if I get traded and somebody else has it? And he goes, that's dumb. I said, what do you mean that's dumb? He goes, it doesn't happen that way. It's not about that. I said, but what if I go from one team to another? And he started explaining, okay, wait a minute. So Dragon Ball and I just had the stupidest conversation in the world, Dragon Ball. Our conversation was dumb. So Brett Boone is joining us right now on our guest hotline to explain the intricacies of what goes on inside a clubhouse when you get traded and you want somebody else's number. Booney, how are you?
Hi, Rich. What can I help you with on this glorious Wednesday afternoon?
All right, we're just talking about Baker Mayfield. Just got traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Carolina Panthers. He needed a new number, so we bought the number 6 from the punter, Johnny Hecker. So we were like, okay, how much do you think you'd pay? And I go, I don't know, maybe he could buy me a Rolex and take me to dinner or something like that. And then Dragon Ball said something as preposterous as, I'll take half of my salary in exchange for that number. And we looked it up, and the punter makes $3 million a year. So Dragon Ball goes, I'd be fair if he gave me $1.5 million for that number. You just poked a hole in our entire silly conversation.
Yes, I did.
So what happened?
The numbers game. It's kind of professional courtesy, and it has to do with a lot of variables. Nothing's in stone, but it's usually the status of the player coming in, the status of the player with the number. I can just give you my brief experience with the number 29, which I wore for every year of my career, except for 1999 when I got traded to the Braves. I got traded to the Braves. I've always been number 29, and just so happens that, I'm number 29. I'm Brett Boone. I've done a few things. I've been an All-Star. I've been a Gold Glover. But I'm going to the Braves, who have John Smoltz, who's won a Cy Young and has been a Brave for 10 years. Well, in that case, he's going to keep the number. It's kind of a hierarchy thing. Johnny Smoltz at that stage of both of our careers, and he goes on to be a Hall of Famer. He keeps the number 29, and it's not even a conversation. Another time I got traded to the San Diego Padres. Mark Sweeney, who's actually a good buddy of mine now, was number 29 for the Padres. Before I even reported to camp, the equipment guys had called me and said, hey, Mark Sweeney has already said, Booney, 29's yours. He's taking a new number. So that's how basically it goes. As far as a payment or a gesture.
Compensation.
Let's say a predominant player comes in, a perennial all-star comes in, and whoever has the number on that team, just out of respect to what the player coming in has accomplished in his career to that point, gives the number up willingly. That player is probably going to come in, probably going to give him something that is unexpected. The player giving it up is not doing it for financial gain. He's doing it out of respect. But that player is going to probably come in, and you're right. He's probably going to get something like a Rolex or something of value, just as the player coming in that's getting the number, his way of saying, I really appreciate you doing that for me. So it's not a negotiation. It's not millions of dollars. But, something's going to happen as far as that player coming in, just out of courtesy to say, hey, I appreciate you giving up that number. Here, I got you X. But it's not a negotiation. It's nothing like that.
See, Dragon Ball, you're not going to get $1.5 million for giving somebody your number?
No.
I thought I would at least get something out of it.
Yeah, you're going to get a Rolex.
Okay.
Or dinner somewhere.
I think a Rolex is actually a pretty good meter. A Rolex or something of that value. Now, today, with the salaries the way they're going at all sports at the highest level, well, shoot, that Rolex now might be a new car. Who knows? Depends on who's coming in and who's giving up the number.
Booney, thank you, because I didn't want us to give out disinformation on the program, just because Dragon Ball's full of nonsense.
Are you using the term disinformation now, Rich?
No.
All right, guys. Hope I helped you a little bit.
You're the best. I'll talk to you, bud. Thanks.
All right.
There you go. Great. Now you made me look foolish in front of my buddy.
My apologies.
$1.5 million Sabbath K.
My apologies.
All right, Jay Dobbins joins us next.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to hand off. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over.
Unity, this is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you starting to feel it? It's 105 degrees. It's July. You know what that means, don't you? Football's around the corner. And I don't know. I'm all geeked up. I'm excited for football. I'm excited for high school football. I'm excited for U of A football. I'm excited for Pac-10 football. I'm just excited for football. So let's talk some football as we run out to our guest hotline here on Wildcat Wednesday, brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore, and catch up with the head coach of Tanque Verde High School on one of the best seasons in recent history, and someone who knows a little bit about Pac-10, Pac-12 football. Jay Dobbins joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Bear down, Jay, how are you?
Bear down, Rich. Thank you for having me, and hello to your audience.
Are you ready for the season to get going?
Been ready. You know, it's that time of year. Everybody's got a chance at a championship right now, so everybody's excited.
Okay, so tell me what high school football coaches are doing at this time of the year as you're getting ready for fall camp to begin.
You know, our 7-on-7 and competitive season, summer season, ended in June. Everybody's come off their 4th of July break and taken a rest, and so, you know, the real work starts, the grind starts. It's all the installs, you know, have probably taken place, you know, during the winter and spring, over the summer, and now you're in the polish phase. You're trying to get ready to actually play football games against another team.
What is a 7-on-7 summer league like for people that maybe have eighth graders and they're not used to what this is, or their kids are going to play high school football for the very first time?
You know, the 7-on-7 season is a passing league that is designed for quarterbacks and receivers. It's 100% pass, no pass rush, just throwing and catching. It's great for our skill position development. You know, a lot of those are coupled with big man competitions so that the lineman types don't get excluded, and they have their own events. And so we participated in a few of those over the summer. We took our team up to Holbrook, Arizona, for one, like as a end of summer camp, and so they're very helpful.
How much has high school football changed from when you played to where we are now with the summer leagues and the big men competition, and then camp and all the rest of this? I mean, it just seems like it's gotten a lot more sophisticated.
It has, and Rich, football hasn't changed. Football hasn't changed. It's in 100 years. You have to block, you have to tackle, you have to run it, you have to throw it, catch it, kick it. That's all the same. But the kids, the athletes have changed. Just from when I was in school, my coaches when I was playing, and I played for some wonderful coaches that changed my life. I don't remember any of them ever being concerned whether I enjoyed practice or was happy. It just, you did that for yourself as an athlete. Now as coaches, man, like, we're trying to make this fun, trying to keep the kids happy. There's so many distractions for them. When I was playing, there were no distractions. If you were a football player, that's what you did, and you did it year-round.
I remember when I was in high school, and Jay, I had a combination of no athletic ability and a bad attitude. So I was probably the worst of the worst. And on top of that, I was very, very immature. And I remember coaches just screaming, yelling. And then after a while, it was just all white noise because they just yelled at me all the time because I was too immature to be able to understand what they were trying to get across to me. How do you deal with kids nowadays?
Rich, me and you got something in common. I was never big or strong, but I made up for it by being slow. But how do you make up for it? Like, I think rest is important. I think, extending, respect, some private time, some free time for the kids is important. Back in the day, excited for two-a-days. Like, you couldn't wait for two-a-days to come. When I was at Arkansas, the year I spent at Arkansas, we did three-a-days at Arkansas. And you were excited for it. You loved it. Like, now we're much more cognizant of the athlete, the mentality of the athlete, how important rest is. And so just how we prepare our teams is so much different than it was in the past.
Okay, so are we old enough to remember when they told us that water made you weak and nobody hydrated?
We had one water. When I was young, we had one water break. And you better get in line at the water fountain, because if you were at the back and the people in front of you were slow, you might not even get your sip.
Right. And now, what's it like?
Well, now, to be honest with you, we're much smarter about it.
Right.
And that's no fault to those coaches. They didn't have the understanding that we do now. Water is available 100% of the time. And I tell our kids, man, if you need to step out of a drill and get water. Let's not be silly like we were back in the day and think that somehow, depriving players of hydration was somehow going to make them better football players. That's not true.
No, I mean, things, like I said, have gotten more sophisticated and better. We understand, back, talk about 3 days at Arkansas, you're probably out there full pads every day, going as hard as you can and just beating the tar out of each other before you even got to the season.
Rich, but you loved it and you look forward to it. But you know what? We didn't have cell phones with millions and a bunch of social media apps and 150 television stations to watch. You played football, and that was your opportunity to go do something. So when it came, 3 days, heck yeah. Can we go 4? Can we go 5?
Yeah.
Let's keep practicing. That's what we did.
How have things changed at Tanque Verde High School? Because candidly, when you went to Tanque Verde High School, they're like, Jay, are you crazy? Those kids never win. They've never done anything. You had a heck of a season. Do you see the confidence of your kids build and help that entire community?
Yeah, absolutely. When I got to Tanque Verde and the staff came with me, our program was on the verge of being abolished. It was struggling so bad. Losing every night. The year before we got there, they'd lost 10 games, and every night they were losing by 50. They were having running clocks put on them, and I don't take credit for that turnaround. I give the credit for what we've become and becoming a relevant program to my coaches and to the players. They're the ones that have done it.
How about for those players? Do you see the difference in their confidence and their self-esteem, and is that spread throughout the school and their families and community?
Absolutely. The way they carry themselves, the way they walk around campus with their heads up, with pride in belonging to the football team, instead of being ashamed of being a football player, they're proud of being a football player. But with that comes a lot of responsibility too. Like, you can't go around now and start big timing people. Don't forget where you came from.
I just read something really interesting about today's youth, and I wanted to ask you this: that they've got their cell phones, and they got their tablets, and we've got YouTube, and we've got TikTok, and we've got Snapchat, and we've got all these ways that we communicate with each other, but nobody ever talks to each other. And there's so many kids out there that just want some one-on-one, somebody to talk to them in a way that makes them realize they do matter, because that's the one thing that we lose in all the electronics. How is it for you when you're able to get through to one of your kids at Tanque Verde High School or wherever else you've been, that you get through to that kid who, you know what, he just needed somebody to pat him on the back, put their arm around him, and tell him, you know what, kids, you matter and I care about you?
Rich, we all need that, not just high school football players. We all need to feel like what we're doing is appreciated and there's value in it. But I'll tell you what, and I am not, we've had this discussion, I am not a social media fan. Every day I look at it and I see kids showing everybody their bench press, showing everybody their 40s, showing everybody, and I tell our kids, no scout, no coach is going to offer you based on your squat video on Instagram. They want to see you playing real football with football pads on in a football game. So save all that.
It's so true. It's so true. And I see all these kids in their huddles, and they're this and they're that, and they miss what they miss what they have the opportunities to do, which is better themselves, help get themselves to that next level, whether it's going to be playing Division I football, going to a junior college to play, or just becoming a better person.
Rich, if you win all your games, and if you win a championship, that's wonderful. Very few people, very few teams are able to do that. But that brotherhood that you build with your boys in high school or whatever team you're on, that grind together, that sacrifice and suffer together, those are ultimately the memories that now when you're my age, when I talk to the guys I played with in high school and college, we rarely talk about football games or the scores of games. We talk about all the things that went around getting to those things.
You probably talk more about things you did in practice than you did in games.
Talking about old coaches, old players, silly things that happened in and outside the program, things that make you laugh. Time heals the injuries. Time heals the pain. And what it leaves us with is the good stuff. And that's what we enjoy.
In talking to you and being inspired from what I saw from your school last year, we're going to expand our high school football. We're in the middle of planning out for that right now, but we're going to expand our high school football coverage because I think it's important that we highlight some of these young men and women that are high school athletes, not just football, but across the spectrum, and shine a light and recognize kids that are doing some good things in our community instead of just picking up the newspaper, turning on the news, and seeing all the bad stuff in our community.
Rich, the team element and putting that first is really tough today. It was much easier when I was a kid. The need to self-promote and self-glamorize like makes it about me as an athlete when it never is. It's always about the team. And so trying to balance that is really hard. All these things, all these apps, and all the social media, I think it's elevated the quality of coaching because coaches now share their ideas much easier, and you can show them to kids much easier now. But it takes away from what is truly great about what we do, which is being a part of the team, and the team comes first.
Let's switch gears, if you don't mind. Jay Dobbins joining us right now on Wildcats Radio 1290. You're going to hear a lot of Jay coming up this fall. I wanted to get your thoughts on the Pac-12 as we get ready for the season and your reaction when you heard that the Bruins and the Trojans were going to be leaving for the Big Ten.
It was very sad to me. I'm old enough to have grown up with the Pac-8, was lucky enough to have been a part of the Pac-10. Was a fan of the Pac-12. Just the tradition of that, and the tradition of that now being gone and now at risk of not existing in any format. I don't understand, I don't see how with name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal, and these super conferences being built, I don't see how it is sustainable.
It just seems like, I don't know, from a student-athlete perspective, Are we starting to lose our way?
Well, here's a question I've asked, and I've asked coaches that have come on campus to recruit our kids. How do you handle in your locker room when you have a kid who's grinding as a walk-on or as a lower-tier player trying to be a part of that team? How do you handle that when you've got a kid in that same locker room on the college level now who's got $1 million in his pocket or more? That is, in and of itself, a brand new problem that these coaches have to deal with.
Charles Barkley brought that up about a year ago in a podcast that I worked on, and he said, how do you have team camaraderie if the quarterback's making $1 million a year in NIL and the guys that are blocking for him up front aren't getting money to go buy sandwiches after the game? That's going to be something that's going to tear a team apart. And like you said, a lot of times, guys like you that grinded and worked hard, you inspired some of your teammates. How do you do that now if everybody's looking at the guy who's got a bunch of money in his pocket and looking at you like, well, I want to be like him. He's got cash right now.
Well, and there's states that are now allowing high school players to accept promotional money, NIL money.
Yeah.
I get it in the pros. Like you're getting paid for your skills in the pros, and there's all different tiers in that locker room. We never had to deal with that in college before. Everybody, regardless of your skill level, was on the same plane as far as what we were receiving in order to play at that school. Those days are gone.
Wow. I mean, it's just weird. Listen, I went through the stages of grief. The Pac-12 as we know it aren't going to be the same. And for me, it breaks my heart because I'm still waiting for that one day that Arizona is going to win the Rose Bowl. I don't know if that's ever going to have an opportunity to happen. If we throw out the tradition of the Pac-12, what's to happen to the Rose Bowl? And I was thinking about this, Jay. Arizona is going to play guaranteed one more time ever in the history of the program. There's only one more guaranteed game at the Rose Bowl because after that, UCLA leaves the conference. You'll never go play in Pasadena again after that.
And I played in the Rose Bowl stadium, not in the Rose Bowl game, in the Rose Bowl stadium against UCLA as a sophomore. I caught my first college touchdown in the Rose Bowl, and that's very special. No one remembers that. No one cares about that except me. But having done that in that stadium and the history there and all the teams and all the great players that sat on that field, that's super important to me just internally.
Same thing could be said for the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, right?
Absolutely. And with USC and UCLA leaving, those things for kids at Arizona, they're gone. They're not going to get to have that. They're not going to get to walk into the Coliseum and take the field out there, and hopefully with some historical knowledge of knowing the greatness that took place on that field, that you now are privileged to go see if you can be one of those guys.
So what do you think's next? If Jay Dobbins had his crystal ball and you're looking at tactically, where do you think we're going to end up?
I think we're going to end up with a couple, 3 or 4, super conferences. I think everybody else is going to be reduced to, fighting for themselves. People who are much smarter than me are going to figure this out. But those people who are smarter than me, they have dollar signs in their eyes. I don't think it's about the kids. I don't think it's about the tradition. I think it's about TV contracts, and that's a shame.
Yeah, and again, one of the reasons why I'm a college football fan more than I'm an NFL fan is there's something about the game of college football. The tradition of Arizona State the day after Thanksgiving, the tradition of USC, UCLA being on television right after Ohio State, Michigan, the tradition of the Apple Cup. That's what makes college football special, and if you lose those traditions, you lose a lot of college football.
Well, I'll tell you what, heaven forbid, and you know this, I am not an Arizona State fan by any means. They're my rival. But heaven forbid Arizona and Arizona State separate. I want to stay with them for those reasons.
Yeah.
And the possibility of Arizona and Arizona State separating and ending up in separate conferences, at this point, no one knows. It is a possibility.
Wow. It's a brave new world we live in. Jay, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. When do you guys get going with your first practice?
First practice is already under our belts. We actually started our winter program in January.
Wow.
We've been preparing for 7 months, and we came off our 4th of July break this week, and we're back at it. In another week and a half, we'll be putting pads on, and in about 6 weeks, we'll be playing our first football game.
Wow. Hey, it's football season, right?
It is for us. If you're a fan, you still got a few weeks to wait. If you're a player or a coach, it's on.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure we talked about high school football and reminded all the parents that we're getting ready to go. And it just kind of recognize all the hard work that you've been putting in and every other high school team. Those hours and hours in the weight room and the 7-on-7 and the competitions and everything they've been doing this offseason will pay off come September. But it's really, really cool that we have such a robust high school football family in Tucson, and those kids have worked hard, and I wanted to recognize them with you.
Thank you for doing that, and not just for us, Rich, but for all those programs out there, all those coaches, all those kids who are doing the exact same thing we're doing at Tango Verde. Everybody knows, the joy and the heartbreak of a football season is coming, and everybody's excited about it.
Absolutely. Jay, I'll catch up with you, brother.
All right, Rich, thank you.
All right, take care. Jay Dobbins joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I'm excited. I didn't realize they're going to get going a week for high school football practice. Oh! All right, coming up, Dragon Balls football headlines, or something similar to that. We'll talk NFL football next.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show, now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings, over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked.
by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard. Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellis. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out of the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big time.
On the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
That's radio1290.com.
Yes. It's WildcatsRadio1290.com. That's where you can find our stream. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Yes, you can.
You can see Dragon Ball in all his glory. He looks smarter now that we gave him his own segment called Dragon Ball's Football Headlines.
Dragon Ball's Football Headlines.
So are you going to apologize?
Apologize for what?
For leading us astray.
Okay, I do this often, so I want to just kind of have an idea about what exactly it is.
You were saying that you were going to ask for $1.5 million for your number.
That's what I would ask for. I'm not saying that's
but
what
you'd get cut.
If I'm Johnny Hecker, no, I'm not.
Versus Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, if I'm Johnny Hecker.
No, Booney explained.
I understand
that it's status.
And you're going to sit here and tell me that Johnny Hecker hasn't been the best punter in the NFL over the last couple of years?
He could be, but he's not a starting quarterback.
Yeah, he's not a starting quarterback, but he's the best punter in the NFL. You could certainly make that argument.
Nah. So what do you think Hecker got? Like a car?
Oh, I'm sure Johnny got something in return.
Do you think he got like a BMW?
Maybe.
Or did he get like a Prius?
Knowing Johnny, he probably just ended up
giving
Johnny,
it to him. But no, he put up there that he put a picture on social media of himself wearing a crown.
Well, it's the crown. It's the gif of Dave Chappelle wearing the crown where he's holding the money.
Yeah.
So who knows? He might have gotten half of his yearly
What kind
salary.
of car would I have to give you to get your number?
To get my number?
Yeah. Would you get like a would you get like a Taurus?
I'll take a Bentley.
See, for a guy who's not very
only with you, Rich.
only with me. So if it's anybody else, you just give it to him out of the goodness of your heart.
I'll probably ask for, like, if it's going to be a car, I'll be like, give me one of those, like, electric-powered cars. I'm tired of paying for gas.
All right, let's get to Dragon Ball's football headline, shall we?
Shall we?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer and closer to training camp, we got media days coming up in college football. We got high school football ready to rock and roll. It's time for Dragon Ball's football headlines here on 1290.
I'm glad you bring up training camps and everything, Rich, because I got a headline for you coming out of Kansas City. The Chiefs are at a stalemate with offensive tackle Orlando Brown, a.k.a. Zeus, as they cannot reach a deal on an extension, and the likelihood is that Orlando Brown will be a holdout for training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's kind of a difficult situation for them because their offensive line, let's not forget, just a year or two ago, that line was what cost them a Super Bowl.
Does it matter if he goes to camp or not? How many years has he got? He's got a couple years in.
He's got a couple years in the league, yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's a pretty good tackle. They traded for him.
Right. Do I need him in camp right now? I mean, camp goes long. Right?
If you're an offensive lineman, I feel that this is one that you need the guys there at camp the entire time because it builds an understanding and camaraderie about blocking assignments, especially if there's going to be new offensive linemen to join him.
Yeah, there's also that whole uncomfortableness.
Oh, absolutely.
If he stays out too long, the rest of the team, like, are you with us or are you not? I don't know. But I do know this, that Patrick Mahomes isn't going to step on the field. We got a better chance of seeing his brother under center without him on the offensive line because I'm not risking Patrick getting hit.
And again, this is the potential is that he's sit out a part of the start of camp, potentially all of it, and could even go into week 1 being in question for the Chiefs veteran. And again, Chiefs veterans will report to camp on the 26th. Brown was reportedly asking for about roughly $23 million for his new contract to start. So their left tackle, that blind side, very much a question mark for the Chiefs going into camp.
That's the second highest paid player on the field. So he's kind of right there where It's not an outrageous. It's not like you asking for $1.5 million for a number of a punter.
Especially when you consider the fact that he's going to be playing underneath the franchise tag. And that's what this whole issue is that he, along with Cincinnati safety Jesse Bates III, they're both still nearing that deadline for franchise tag players to either get their extension or play under the tag. If Brown plays under the tag, he's only going to be paid about $16 million a year, which that's about it.
Well, okay, but see, that's where both sides have leverage.
Yes.
See, I don't have to give you the money. I'll just put the tag on you and get your butt to work. But then you're going to be very unhappy, and the chances of you re-signing with me start to diminish. But it also tells the player, hey, listen, you only have so much leverage, and you're under contract. I know you don't like your contract, but you signed it. And if you don't like it, they'll throw the franchise tag on you, and you're going to play for $16 million as opposed to what was he asking for?
$23 million roughly.
$23 million. We can compromise in the middle. That's why, and I hate to go back to baseball, but that's why arbitration is so interesting in baseball. The team has to give a number. The player has to give a number. If the team gives a ridiculously low-ball number, the player is going to win, vice versa.
So what's going to be the worst punishment for Orlando Brown if he decides to sit out the whole year? If you had to take a guess, what's the worst thing that's going to happen to him?
Does he still stay with the Chiefs?
No.
What's he do? What happens?
He's not under tender. He's not under tender because he hasn't signed it yet, so technically he's not under contract. He would just sit out the whole year, and he wouldn't be subject to fines or anything else like that.
No, but then if I'm the Chiefs, I'm slapping the franchise tag on him because then I lose my leverage.
But he doesn't have to sign it. That's the thing, is that they've given him the franchise tag.
So they've already slapped it on him.
They've slapped it on him.
Then he's got to play.
No, but he's going to hold that. But if he continues to hold out and refusing to sign the tender, he wouldn't have to come into camp at all, and the Chiefs would not be viable to go ahead and fine him.
And then he would lose a year.
He would lose a year. He's basically
okay.
He would take them out.
That's where his leverage. That's where he starts to lose his leverage. You only have so many years. Can I risk taking a year off in my career? I only have a finite amount of years. Do I want to just throw one away for non-injury? And am I willing? I mean, listen, we tell you all the time, most NFL players end up bankrupt. Can you really go without a paycheck that long? When you have that kind of lifestyle, right? Yep. So like the Dragon Ball lifestyle that you have, or you're a baller, what happens if you got hurt and you couldn't come to work? You're used to going to Comic-Con. You're used to watching Japanese anime on the dark web, and that costs money. You're used to being a big baller like that and going to Costco and getting a hot dog and the chicken bake. Listen, nobody's going to be happy if you're not able to get that chicken bake.
This is true. But
Did it describe your life?
I mean, not entirely, because the dark web thing doesn't exist. But
he gets so upset. Okay, let me just say this right now. Can I just say this right now? It's just a joke. I am just teasing. Let me go on record right now and tell you that Dragon Ball does not surf the dark web. Just in case anybody from any government agency with initials is looking to investigate my friend Dragon Ball, he doesn't surf the dark web. Are you happy now?
Why's everything got to be a federal case with you?
All right, what else do you got?
So, another report, this one coming out of Cleveland. The Browns are potentially interested in signing free agent defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh to join their defense.
Perfect.
I mean, this is going to be the most prestigious defensive group that I think I can think of in a long time. You've got Ndamukong Suh potentially joining. You've already re-signed Jadeveon Clowney. You've got Garrett. You've got Myles Garrett. You've got Denzel Ward, who is supposed to be, I believe he just recently signed a big contract extension. This is a expensive defense, especially
for a team that might not have a quarterback.
For a team that might not have their preferred starting quarterback.
Well, who would their quarterback be?
Well, if it's not Deshaun Watson, because again, they're still under the litigation period of trying to figure out what the actual punishment is going to be for his, civil cases. Right now, the starter would be Jacoby Brissett going into training camp, with Josh Dobbs being the potential backup. And I would love to understand why bringing in Ndamukong Suh would alleviate the problem that would be.
There's a reason why you're the Browns.
Yes.
I'm sorry, David Kelly, but there's a reason. I'm hanging out with David this week. He's going to get mad at me for making fun of his Browns.
It'll be interesting to see how that eventually goes in regards to Sue's free agent tour, because the other teams that are supposedly interested right now are the Vikings and the Raiders. Now, the Raiders make a lot of sense. The Vikings need some help in their defensive backfield. I don't know why they'd want to bring in Sue to help the defensive line, but the Browns, hey, if they want to sign another big-name defensive player.
And give them lots of money, go ahead.
Take it.
All right, what else do you got?
So, speaking of a person who decided to skip out on training camp earlier with Orlando Brown, we got this headline. I'm going to assume this is coming out of Miami because this is where the guy stays a lot. Le'Veon Bell saying that he is going to shift his focus to boxing and will not suit up to play in the NFL this season.
Who's he going to fight?
He is going to have a fight against fellow running back star Adrian Peterson at Crypto.com Arena in L.A. on July the 30th.
Okay, listen, boxing. Do you like boxing?
I like boxing.
I like boxing. I've been in many championship fights. I enjoy boxing. Can we just have a separation of real boxing versus sideshow boxing?
Celebrity boxing.
Celebrity boxing is dumb. Dude, I don't want to watch Le'Veon Bell fight Adrian Peterson.
No. No one wants to see that fight.
Nobody wants to see that.
No one wanted to see Frank Gore box either.
No.
That was sad.
No, if you want to... If you want to jump into the UFC and legitimately fight people, that's cool. Okay? But all these, Jake Paul. I saw Jake Paul. I want to be light heavyweight champion of the world. Dude, then go become a professional fighter. Fight your way up the ranks. Don't give me sideshows where you're fighting other celebrities. You want it? Go earn your way up the rankings. I don't want to see it. And the fact that some of you are stupid enough to pay for it, all you're doing is ruining the sport of boxing because you're so lame, you fall for all this garbage.
You're paying for it because you want to see them lose. That's the problem, is that they are...
Is that it?
Like a lot of people
petty,
that
they're pity boxers.
A lot of people that I know that would watch the Logan Paul fights are watching them because they want to see Logan Paul lose.
Yes, I want to see him get his butt kicked.
But that hasn't happened yet.
Because you keep paying for him to fight people. He might as well fight me next. I'm about the same quality of fighter that they should go fight my son Rigney,
he was in a boxing match.
He was in a boxing match. He's about as legit as the guys that you fight.
Just about as legit.
Either go join the UFC or Bellator, or go through something legitimate. But celebrity boxing, it's dumb. You know what? Anything celebrity is dumb.
I think I heard recently that Paul was actually calling out Conor McGregor for a money fight.
Okay, Conor McGregor's 185 years old. I mean, if Conor McGregor already lost his mojo when we saw that nonsense against Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
Okay? I've seen Floyd Mayweather fight. Floyd Mayweather has the fastest hands I've ever seen in my life. I've seen him with my own two eyes. I watched him fight one of his last fights. It was against a former sparring partner. It basically was just to make money. But I was there. I watched it. I've seen Pacquiao fight in person. I've seen a lot of the greats in person. But when Floyd Mayweather did that whole Conor McGregor thing, and the best part of it was the hype job leading up to it because the fight sucked. This celebrity boxing is just a joke.
Yep.
And if you're paying money for it, you're a sucker. What else do you got? Do you got anything good?
I got this last one here. You'll be interested in this. This is coming out of Amazon Prime Video.
By the way, Terminal List, Chris Pratt just got done watching it.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a good show, I heard.
It's outstanding.
Okay.
It's outstanding. And it was so dramatic, crazy, well written, and had so many plot twists. Normally I can predict what's going to happen. I kind of have an idea. Mm-hmm. I had no idea any of the plot twists. It was great. You need to watch it.
I'll go and I'll put it on my watch list. Because besides that, folks that have Amazon Prime Video will have the new Thursday Night Football broadcast. And apparently there's going to be alternating casts that they're going to have for the broadcast. And that includes that they're reportedly eyeing Drew Brees for a quarterback-only Thursday night football broadcast. Now, I'd hate to say they're copying the Manning. They're copying the Manning cast.
Well, the Manning cast is a copy, is a complete ripoff of what do they call it? The multicast when they do the national championship game.
Yes,
it's great education. I don't know how entertaining it is.
I think it was the one. They had one for the basketball tournament where they had like Greg Anthony and them in the studio broadcasting the game. Yeah.
Well, they did that for they've done that for the national championship of college football for the last couple of years. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
For me, someone who wants to be a student of the game, like I know how to read film, rudimentary. I have a rudimentary ability to read game film, right? So I got the clicker. And when I worked covering the NFL, I'd watch a game. So I worked out of Miami. So I'd watch the Dolphin game once in real time. And then I'd go back and I'd print out all the play-by-play, and I'd watch it a second time with the clicker. And then I'd watch it a third time, and I'd start taking notes of, okay, is cover one, cover two, how many guys in the box, what was the formation? And when you slow it down, you could see, and I really had to slow it down. It took me forever to do this. Are they coming in motion? Are they playing man? Are they pressing? What are they doing? And you could tell before the play starts if it's cover two and they don't have the extra man in the box, you're going to get a good chance to run. If they pull that extra man in the box and it's cover one, and you have a running play, probably not going to be very successful with it. So you could see all that stuff. It's interesting, but I don't know if I'd want to watch it on a Thursday.
No. Especially on a streaming service that very few people, I think, are going to actually have for football.
Now, by the way, I'll remind everybody, Thursday Night Football exclusively here on 1290. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you'll be able to listen to it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
There you go.
I would like that, but make sure I've got the number one feed that I can watch that. And then if I want to go back later and be a student of the game, you can learn a lot that way. All right, is that your headlines of the day?
That'll do it. I also think I may have figured out what Johnny Hekker got from Baker Mayfield in the jersey swap.
What is it?
He got everything that he still had to move out from Cleveland Municipal Stadium from his Progressive commercials.
Do you think they moved the Progressive commercials to...
Oh, they've officially canceled them. There will not even be a moving out with Baker Mayfield. They just straight up have canned those commercial series now.
I like those commercials.
They were okay.
No, they were awesome.
But remember that yard sale that he had going on?
Yes.
Like, that's what Johnny Hekker was able to. They gave him a discount at the yard sale.
All right, coming up, I'm going to talk some Arizona football. The clock's ticking. I'm going to explain to you why for Jed Fish in Arizona football. We'll do that next year on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Rare. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ball game. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Early
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear, they just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
TCU not going to foul yet. Mathurin looking at Tommy Lloyd. Shot clock at 15. Mathurin back and forth dribble. 10 to shoot now. Long ways from the bucket. Off to Dalen Terry. Terry looking for help. 6 to shoot. Way outside to Mathurin. 3, 2. Mathurin forces the 3 off the rim. No good. Follow. Koloko jams it home. And the Cats up by 5.
Offensive rebound. And the man of the night, Christian Koloko. 12 of 13 from the field, 28 points.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was
37. Former Wildcat Benedict Mathurin had another solid night for the Indiana Pacers out at the Summer League as he ended up scoring 20 points in a win over the Detroit Pistons. And the Coyotes had a busy first day of free agency as they made a plethora of moves, including bringing back Laurent Dauphin on a 1-year contract after he spent last year in Montreal. And even though the Blue Jays are in solid position in the American League wildcard race, the team has decided to fire manager Charlie Montoyo due to the recent struggles ahead of the All-Star break. And fresh off of winning a Stanley Cup for the Avalanche, goaltender Darcy Kemper has agreed to a new 5-year contract with the Washington Capitals. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Wildcat Wednesday on 1290. Presented by your Tucson PGA Tour Superstore. Located at Oracle and Liberal Austin, Tucson. Shop with the pros. Today, we remember all the great traditions at the University of Arizona and what it means to bear down on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera with you on a Wildcat Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. It's all brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. The aforementioned Dragon Ball, who's looking awfully spiffy today. I mean,
Thank you
look
very
smarter
much.
wearing the glasses.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right, I did want to. I want to bring this up. I've been trying to get to it, and we keep running out of time. But I do want to go on the record and say this: Arizona football needs to matter right now. You know, in all this conference realignment that we've talked about, I don't know if we've really asked that hard question that makes people uncomfortable. Dragon Ball, people that don't ask that hard question never get the true answers, never get to the bottom of things. They're the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
They're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, they're the Dallas Cowboys. Why have the Dallas Cowboys not been to the playoffs in forever? And won and got far into the playoffs and got back to the Super Bowl? Because you have an awful general manager. But who in the world's going to tell Jerry Jones he's an awful general manager? No one, because he's the owner. If you don't, do you think anybody's asked that question sitting in those meetings in Dallas going, how good is our general manager? Jerry's looking, why, you going to say something about the GM? No, boss. Right?
It's hard to say something against the man who signs the checks.
Exactly. So if you don't ask the tough questions, you don't have all the answers, and you don't have all the information that you need to succeed. So I'm going to say this right now, and this is kind of tough. But Arizona football has not mattered in the grand scheme of things outside the city limits of Tucson for the longest time. Arizona football is an afterthought in the world of college football today. And we keep assuming wherever realignment goes, well, we'll be fine. Somebody's going to want to take the University of Arizona. Let's say the Pac-12 just disintegrated tomorrow. Let's say ESPN lowballs Washington and Oregon bail. Stanford says, do I really need any of this? And they go independent. Cal says, I'm losing so much money. Let's just get rid of athletics. Right? Nightmare scenario rolls out. And Arizona State leaves and goes and does their own thing. What happens to the University of Arizona? What happens to the Wildcats? In a nightmare scenario, because you've got to plan for the worst and hope for the best. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. What would happen? Because as everybody keeps saying, Nick Saban said this yesterday, we're going to 2 super conferences. Well, it's easy for Nick to say. 2 super conferences would be 40 teams, 45 teams, maybe 50 teams. Dragon Ball, how many college football teams are there?
Are you just talking about the ones that matter or the ones that are just around the country?
Bingo. The ones that matter will be the top 50 playing in the mega conferences. What happens to everybody else? I don't know.
You can make a kiddie table, but they're not going to have one.
Well, no, but would a kiddie table even matter? You went to NAU.
Yes.
How important is NAU football in the grand scheme of things?
Outside of Flagstaff?
Yep.
Not at all.
How about inside Flagstaff?
It matters a bit.
A bit, but it's not like the biggest thing.
It's not the biggest thing because even then in a town like Flagstaff, I would honestly tell you the high school football scene is almost as big as what it is for NAU football.
Okay. So the nightmare scenario that I'm talking about. The reason I bring this up is I hope Tucson and I hope Wildcat fans understand the sense of urgency that we should be feeling when it comes to Arizona football. If you don't feel the sense of urgency right now, then I'm not doing my job. Basketball-only schools are not going to matter as much in this conference realignment. They'll matter when it comes to March Madness.
Yes.
Gonzaga matters. What's another good basketball-only school?
Duke.
Duke matters. But if
North Carolina matters.
But their football team is actually decent.
They can be.
They can be. Mac Brown, right?
Right.
This is hard to say. But how many people are screaming and yelling in this whole conference realignment? Let's go get Gonzaga. Do you hear anybody saying, hey, Pac-12, let's get Gonzaga. That would be great. No. Do you hear anybody clamoring in the Southeastern Conference, hey, if we're going to expand and we're going to go raid the ACC, where are we going to go? We're going to go get Miami. Mm-hmm. We're going to go get Clemson. Do you hear anybody saying, let's go get Duke? No. No.
Nope.
When we talk about the Big 12, and here's what I feel. Like, around these parts, we're just assuming, oh, well, if the Pac-12 blows up, we'll end up in the Big 12. How do we know that? I think the Pac-10 is going to stay together. I really honestly do. Because the Big Ten's not going to be the one to stick the shiv into the heart of college football. They're going to let somebody else. I'm sorry, the SEC, excuse me, is not going to blow up college football. They're going to let the Big Ten be the bad guys. They don't have the appetite nor the intestinal fortitude to just blow the whole darn thing up. Now, they're prepared when the whole thing blows up to take everybody else in. And, were they going to be powerful? They played everybody like a fiddle. Because if everything blows up and the ACC goes away and the Pac-12 goes away, and if the Big 12 would have went away, they've already taken the best of the Big 12. They're poised, and it would be very easy for them to pick up the remnants of the ACC and rise from the ashes into a super conference. So let's say that nightmare scenario rolls out. What are we? Where are we? What would we be? In the grand scheme of things, what would we be, Tucson? Ask yourself that tough question that nobody's brought that up. I haven't seen it written anywhere. I haven't brought it up on this show, and I don't think I've seen it on social media. I haven't seen it on television. A true, candid look in the mirror. What are we? It's tough to think about. We're a national brand, and that's important. Our basketball team gives us national exposure. And by the way, nothing else matters except for that basketball team because that's the one that brings in money. It's all now about football and men's basketball. As we sit here today, that's all that really matters because now it's about television contracts and eyeballs and revenue coming in, which supports everything else. So I'm going to put everybody else aside for right now. It's about men's basketball and the money that you generate for the television contract and football. You need to say it. If we're just a basketball school in the middle of the desert, how many people would want us as part of their conference if it's all about men's basketball and football? The basketball will keep us relevant as a brand, but the football is what we're going to live and die with. If you agree, disagree, I'd love to hear from you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. That's when I say that for Coach Fish, man, there is a sense of urgency around Arizona football that I don't think any of us really have learned to appreciate yet. How urgent the need for the promise of Arizona football to come forth and blossom here in the desert. Arizona football has to matter. It has to matter. And Jed has to get this thing to matter, and it has to matter quickly. That means you and I have a job to do as well. So I've said this for the longest time. Hey, you got to get behind your hometown team and everything else. I'll tell you right now, as I look at this and I look at the situation, Arizona football has to matter. And if it doesn't, then we're all in trouble. So I'll say this right now, and I'll go on the record in saying this. Tucson, you better be all in on Arizona football and all in right now. Because the lifeblood of the survival of our teams are all right now predicated on getting football to matter. Why is Carolina more valuable than Duke?
Because their football program occasionally will appear in the top 25.
Bingo. Duke football, never. David Cutcliffe was there for a while, and they got rid of him. Steve Spurrier was there a long time ago, but it's never been anything to write home about.
Nobody comes out of Duke in regards to the NFL draft. You know,
nope.
You got got a couple of guys that come out of North Carolina. A couple quarterbacks have gone to the top end of the first round on a couple of occasions.
And this goes against conventional wisdom, what we've always thought about in Tucson. Basketball is great. Football, we watch until it's ready for basketball season. But the emphasis, the emphasis of this conference has been so misguided under the previous commissioner that, hey, it's great, Sears Cups and all these Olympic whatever. Meanwhile, down in the Southeastern Conference, the Big Ten, why are they the kings right now? Because they put their emphasis on their money-making sports that support everything else. While the Pac-10 was worrying about all the Olympic sport championships, and those are great, they took their eye off the prize, which was making sure the football programs were robust and relevant because they support everything else. And Arizona and Tucson needs to figure that out and figure that out quickly. Arizona needs to be relevant in football. They need to get to the point where they're sitting at also receiving votes 26, 27, 28. They need to be getting into the top 25 and the top 20 every year if you're going to survive in what everyone's projecting is the mega conferences. Because if you don't, and it's all of this is driven by football, folks. How much realignment has been driven by basketball or any other sport? Zero. None. Zip. The sense of urgency is huge. And I don't know if we're ready to accept that fact or not. This is me kind of getting past my signs of depression on the implosion of the Pac-12. But as I look around and see where all of the landmines are out there, Jedd Fisch and Arizona football has to succeed. And I'm not putting any extra pressure on Jedd because he knew we had to turn this thing around, but the circumstances have put extra pressure on everybody within that football facility. They've got to win, and they've got to win now. Now that's a tough hand that I'm dealing them right now, because they've got a tough schedule starting off with San Diego State. And I told you this yesterday, no matter what happens with the realignment, San Diego State's either going to be happy and wanting to prove that they belong in the Pac-12 if they get the invitation, or if they get shunned again, as weak as the Pac-12 is right now, fundamentally, they're going to come out here and they're going to have a point to prove that they could beat any Pac-12 team in the country or Power 5 school in the country. Think about this. If you're well, how do we feel in Tucson about USC? We want to go out there and show everybody how good we are by beating USC in football, by beating Oregon in football. And then vice versa. Everybody wants to come over here. And if you're Colorado, you want to show how great you are, you talk about the time you beat Arizona in basketball. San Diego State's going to do the same thing when they play football against teams in the Pac-12. Look up San Diego State's schedule for me real quick, if you don't mind, Dragon Ball. Because they usually take on a handful of Pac-12 teams, and they play them like it's their Super Bowl.
So, for the San Diego State Aztecs, they start against Arizona.
In their new stadium.
They go ahead and they play against Idaho State, and then they go to the Pac-12 champion Utah Utes for week 3.
Right. What else do they have? Who else do they have out of conference?
For their matchups after that, you got Toledo, Boise State, Hawaii, Nevada, Fresno State, UNLV, San Jose State, New Mexico, Air Force, and then they go to the Mountain West
West. And those are all conference games. Potential. So you want to talk about a team that's going to get jacked up for 2 games this year? Arizona and Utah. Who else did you say they had?
They've got, after that, they go
Idaho State.
Idaho State's the first 3 weeks.
Right. So Idaho State's their cupcake. Arizona is they're circling. Brady Hoke is circling Arizona. That's their statement game. They beat Arizona. They walk around and go, that's right. That's right, homie. We beat the Pac-12. And they will they will hang their hat on that for the rest of the season. The game against Arizona for them is bigger than it is for anybody else. They win that game, no matter what. They have that to stand there and build their program on for the season. And no matter what happens to the rest of it, they go, yeah, but we beat a Pac-12 team. That's how big that game is going to be. It is going to be important to them. And that's why I'm saying, folks, we better have a sense of urgency when it comes to Arizona football this year, getting behind them, supporting them, giving them a 12th man, because they are going to be fighting for the livelihood of Arizona athletics in this conference realignment. I can't state it any bigger than that. Agree, disagree with me. 520-848-1290. Coming up in the program. One new thing that just popped up. I talked about this yesterday, but the Board of Regents of the University of California might throw a wrench in. UCLA's gone, but there's a wrench that the Board of Regents might be throwing their way. I'll tell you about that next year on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Really
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert, they just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Thanks so much for joining us here on the program. We'll get your thoughts, reaction. I mean, Dragon Ball is crazy what I'm saying, that the University of Arizona, if you boil everything down and you take all the layers, because traditions be darned, it's a brave new world, and everything we thought that was rock solid is not. If you blow up into 2 mega conferences, does Arizona make the cut if it's predicated upon football for right now?
It's not outlandish. And the reason why...
It's kind of blasphemy in this town.
It's blasphemy only if you're not recognizing the changing of the landscape. And that's a part of the problem, is that there's still a belief that college sports are just college sports, and they can't be anymore. They are a business. They're things that require a lot of media attention because they garner a lot of media attention.
The marketing of college and universities has grown so big it's almost become bigger than the business.
It's a market now.
So why is Alabama football so important? Why does Alabama and those schools down in the Southeastern Conference invest so much money in their football programs?
Because that's what gathers the interest in that part of their state, of their city. Tuscaloosa only survives because of Alabama football.
Okay, so this is what Nick Saban says. And I've done a little bit. I did some consulting in marketing in higher education.
Right.
Not in college sports, but this is actually bigger than all of that. The way it works is Nick Saban calls it the front porch. He says that college football is the front porch to your university.
Yes.
Meaning that if I can't get you to the front porch, I can't get you to walk in the doors. There are studies that will show you if you have a team that wins a national championship or goes to a Final Four, the interest in your university, the earned media that you get, will increase the amount of applications to your school. The more applications you get, the better students you get. So if you're Cal State Bakersfield and you've got Rich Herrera applying and only Rich Herrera applying, you're going to take him. You win a national championship at the University of Alabama, well, there's an extra 10,000 students that get caught up because of football that apply. Rich Herrera doesn't even get looked at because everybody else, with just that amount of students that are rolling in trying to get there, sitting in applications, you could be pickier because you've got a bigger pool of students that want to come to your university. The higher the GPAs, the higher the standardized test scores to get there, the better students you get. The better students you get, the more grant money you get. The more grant money you get, the more students you get, and it builds your school. That's why when Johnny Football was at Texas A&M, they invested all that money. They made all that money because they had all those kids wanting to come to Texas A&M because it became cool. Alabama's got more students than they know what to do with right now. But it's interesting as this keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger that it's becoming more of a business instead of an outreach. Basically, college athletics is supposed to be an outreach for your university.
It's an advertisement.
Outreach, advertisement, same thing? Tomato, tomato?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's what I mean, though, is that, like, for some people, you would describe it as an outreach. For some people, they describe it as an advertising.
Straight up advertising. So, give me a pretty good school. All right, I'll give you 2 schools. One, and they're both in the Pac-12 footprint. Utah State. Which is better academically? I think Utah State might be.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those AAU schools that they talk about that the presidents are so keen on being one of those upper schools. It's a research institution, which is important. Are you wincing at me?
No, I'm trying to think of, like, if I remember that being Utah State's, like, if it was one of those AAU schools.
Yeah, Utah State. A buddy of mine looked it up. It is. Utah State's pretty important. Is a big school. I'll give you another one. Colorado School of Mines. You got to be smart to get into Colorado School of Mines. But why are more kids applying to Utah than Utah State? Because Utah's sexy and fun and exciting, and the football program, and I get excited about walking around. When you walk by somebody wearing a Utah Ute shirt in Utah, like, go Utes. Somebody wearing a Utah State shirt going, go Merlin Olsen. See the difference?
Yep.
Right? NAU, U of A. How many kids want to come to school here because they see the Zona Zoo and McHale Center? How many kids see that how many kids are walking around right now at junior high and high school wearing Arizona gear solely because of athletics? That's what gets them and hooks them. Some of them think, hey, I want to go play basketball at the University of Arizona. I want to go play football at the University of Arizona. Then when they realize they're not good enough to play Division I college sports, they still go, but I love the University of Arizona. Athletics is what makes kids fall in love with the university and what keeps you in love with the university after you leave. Sometimes whether you go there or not just to support them. You live in that town in Alabama. Not all of them went to the University of Alabama, but I'm telling you what, people throughout that state still love that school. They learned to love it beforehand, and they continue to love it because of the success of that football program.
Unless you learn to hate it, in which case you're from Auburn.
Exactly.
But that's the point.
That's the point of it. That's the point of it.
So you can learn to love the University of Arizona, but you also learn to hate the Arizona State Sun Devils because that's just a part of the advertising for the U of A.
Part of the outreach. Advertising is, so the reason I use outreach, because there's media and then there's earned media.
Right.
If I have to pay, so here's political. I'm not going to get into politics. How many ads are you seeing on TV right now for political candidates?
A lot of them.
Yeah. Too many of them, right?
Yep.
How many times?
Too many on the side of the road, too.
Too many on the side of the road, too. That's paid media. Somebody paid for that. But when I turn on television or I'm listening to talk radio or I'm watching cable news, you see all these people that come on that are candidates. They earned that media because there was a groundswell of support for them. They earned all of that free media and advertising. That's earned media. So that's why I use the word outreach for the universities, because the better your team is, the more earned media you get. The more earned media you get, the more hype you get, the more kids want to come to your university, the better students you have, the stronger the school is. That's why I threw out, and people got mad at me. Oh, did I get some people mad at me? What's the difference between New Mexico and Arizona? What's the difference between Albuquerque and Tucson? One has a big name, flagship, Pac-12, nationally recognized school. The other's Albuquerque. And the whole quality of life in Tucson is loads better than Albuquerque. Albuquerque is known for Breaking Bad. They're actually building a statue of the Breaking Bad characters in Albuquerque.
Okay, it has to be. There has to be like an inclusion of like a pizza getting thrown. Right?
I don't know.
It has to.
Anyway, that's what I thought was interesting. By the way, there's a great new website that's up and running called Saturday Out West. John Gold, who used to write here in Tucson, wrote about all of this. John Wilner of the Mercury News is doing a great job. But he pointed out, I didn't know this. You know, UCLA and USC have been joined at the hip. And I was talking to a couple people. They said I could, how do I put this? It was on background, so I can't give you their names. But the people at Cal are not happy, and the regents are not happy that UCLA did this without giving Cal a heads up. Because you know how I told you UCLA was in the hole like $618 million because they didn't have fans at Pauley Pavilion and at the Rose Bowl, and they lost their Under Armour contract.
Yeah.
The University of California is in the hole $600 million athletically. And if you lose the UCLA-USC TV money, they're going to have a hard time closing that gap. And I did not realize this. Do you know, and shame on me for not knowing this, did you know that UCLA had two nicknames before they got to the Bruins?
What would that be?
Their original name were the Bears.
Right.
And then when they joined the PCC, UCLA, because Cal was there first, PCC was the precursor to the Pac-12. You know what they were? Take a wild guess.
So they were the Bears originally, then they moved.
And then they took a second name, and they couldn't use that name because somebody else already had it in the PCC. So think about that for just a minute. I didn't realize this. Like, the University of Arizona was the Morrill Land Grant of 1862. They gave money to find a spot to build a university here in Tucson. They couldn't find anything. City of Tucson almost gave the money back to the state of Arizona. Then finally, what's the story? I got to look it up real quick. Two gamblers and a saloon keeper donated land away from downtown. Originally, they wanted it downtown, but they couldn't find any land to buy over there, so they were going to give up. And then two gamblers and a saloon keeper gave the state land to start a school where the campus is right now, which is, east of downtown. That's how you have the University of Arizona. The UCLA Bruins, I did not know this, were originally a satellite campus of what school?
California, Berkeley?
No, I didn't know this. I told the whole story yesterday. I'll go back further in the history books. UCLA was a satellite campus of San Jose State.
Oh.
Originally, it was a normal college, which is what Arizona State was. Originally, when they were founded, and I think it was 1882, it was the Los Angeles branch of the California State Normal School. San Jose State is the flagship of the Cal State University system. UCLA was originally a Cal State. Then the sole member of the Board of Regents from Southern California petitioned for them to become a University of California school. And then everybody in Berkeley no, we don't want them. And then finally they got their way. All right, so there's the real history of UCLA. They were the Bears, and then they changed it to something else. They wanted to join the PCC, which was the precursor to the Pac-12. What were their names?
I can only think of anything related to San Jose, so I want to say
no. You're wrong. I'll give you a hint. There was I'll just gonna say it because we're running out of time. They were the Grizzlies.
Oh.
They were the Grizzlies. Originally, they were the Bears. Then they were the Grizzlies. But when UCLA wanted to join the PCC, there was already a Grizzly team in the PCC, and they wouldn't let them use that name. What team was that?
That'd be Montana. I was going to say, Montana's the Grizzlies, aren't they?
The Montana Grizzlies were already in the PCC. So UCLA had to come up with a new name, and the folks at Cal said, hey, why don't you become the Baby Bears, the Bruins? That's how they got their name.
Okay, and you're saying, so Montana was in the PCC at this
Montana
point.
Could have been a Pac-12 school.
Yeah, that is a dramatically bizarre location for a Pacific Coast college team, considering that's...
I have it right here.
That's almost 2-3 state lines inside the
well, no.
US map.
So this is the Pacific Coast Conference, founded in 1915. It was Cal, UW, Washington, Oregon, and Oregon Agricultural College, which became Oregon State. Then in 1917, Washington State joined. 1918, Stanford joined. And this is crazy. You ready?
Right.
1922, their big additions. The University of Southern California and Idaho. Those two schools were the same at that time. Then 1924, they let in Montana. And then in 1928, they admitted UCLA, who had to change their name from Grizzlies to Bruins.
So the Pac-12 really did. It covered the entire West Coast, but it included so much as Idaho and Montana.
And Washington State and schools. So in 1959, the Pac-12 disbands. They had controversy where players were getting paid. Hello. And what they wanted to replace it with, they were going to call it the Airplane Conference. It was going to be Army, Navy, Air Force, Notre Dame, Pitt, Penn State, Syracuse.
That's a bit of a bizarre conference.
The Department of Defense said, no, we're not going to pay money to fly people around from Army, Navy, Air Force, and have them out here with all these other schools.
Right.
So then in 1959, the Athletic Association of Western Universities, which was AAWU, Cal, UCLA, USC, and UW were formed. And then in 1960, they became the Big Five when they added Stanford. They became the Pac-5 when they added Stanford. 1962, they became the Pac-6 when they added Washington State. 64, they became the Pac-8 with Oregon State. 1970, they became the Pac-10 with Arizona State. Then we became the Pac-12 10 years ago with Colorado and Utah. Listen, you don't get that kind of history lesson anywhere else, do you?
No, not that.
That was pretty good. Is that pretty good?
I mean, that's
some interesting stuff.
That's
all right,
a shock to
coming
me.
up, we'll talk about the biggest stories of the day. That's next year at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to hand off. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out, the locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen. Picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps into the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
On the field.
All right, let's finish up this portion of the program with the biggest stories of the day. You know what? I'm talking about everything else under the sun. With Arizona football, I am remiss to I messed up Dragon Ball.
Uh-oh.
I know that's hard to believe.
What do we do now?
I didn't talk about Tucson's top cat.
Ooh, we didn't.
No bueno.
No bueno.
We're down to the finals. We are down to the finals. And our finalists to see who will be Tucson's top cat, as voted by you, the fans. We're down to the finals. The number 1 seed, number 1 overall seed when we started this was Steve Kerr. One of the all-time favorite Arizona Wildcats. He's in the finals. And talk about a hard scrabble guy. He came to Tucson as a walk-on, folks.
And then he went on to bail out Michael Jordan.
No, I'm talking about his opponent.
Oh, his opponent.
I think Kerr had a scholarship. Yeah, he was recruited.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Now you're going to make me doubt everything. I have all this written out. Don't mess up my scripts, Dragon Ball. The other came from Helix High School, where he was a walk-on. And he showed up in Tucson, and he became the epitome of what it means to be an Arizona Wildcat. One of the greatest hitters of all time. One of the best football players to ever come out of the University of Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Chuck Cecil.
On the roll, Van Raphorst looks back, nobody there. Freelances into the end zone, picked off, and the race is on. This is Chuck Cecil.
Chuck Cecil, legendary Wildcat. They are now pitted in a brawl to end it all. Who will be Arizona's top cat? Go to WildcatsRadio1290.com right now and vote. Steve Kerr versus Chuck Cecil.
I told you Chuck was going to get there.
You know what? You completely blew me away.
I told you.
You said early on, Rich, Chuck is Watch out for Chuck. I said, no, I love Chuck, but I don't know if he's going to get through Jerry Bruckheimer and everybody else. Chuck Cecil, Steve Kerr. Vote now. Who's the ultimate Arizona Wildcat? Who's Tucson's top cat? Wildcats Radio 1290.com. Coming up, conversation with Jay Dobbins is next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now.